Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Drive Marketing. This evening, Corey and I have the pleasure to sit and visit with our good buddy Ethan Propp from Adair, Oklahoma, owner and operator of ECP Cattle. Ethan, good to have you this afternoon.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to sit here and visit this evening about the Leading Ladies Volume 3 heifer sale that you're going to have on CCI.Live this coming weekend at Stillwater, Oklahoma during the Oklahoma Beef Expo. Ethan, just real quick, how did this sale ever get up off the ground? We're calling it Volume 3. Tell us about the first and second one.
Yeah, so the first one was in 2020, and it was just on an SC type deal in April 2020. So that was a great time to have the Volume 1 edition, right? And it was just myself and Brad Barron. I had some Charolais and Herefords involved in that deal. And so then last year, we added a few more consigners and switched it over to CCI and did like a live online. We did an open house the weekend before at our county fairgrounds there in Pryor, Oklahoma, and then sold them virtually, I guess, at a Hampton Inn there in Oklahoma City that next Thursday night. So this year we've changed it up a little more. I've added a few more consigners, a few different breeds that we didn't have last year. And we're actually going to display the cattle all day on Friday, the 15th, at Stillwater at the fairgrounds, being as that's the Beef Expo show. So they'll be showing steers all day that Friday, and then we'll sell the cattle. And then we'll sell the cattle hopefully at 5:30 that night or directly after the steer show or the grand drive of the steer show, and definitely be done before 7 o'clock, which is the OCCA annual banquet there.
Oh, interesting.
Boy, that's slick timing. That ought to be a good crowd around there in anticipation for that awards. Hey, tell us a little bit about, you mentioned the diversity in the breeds in the sale, Ethan. Tell us a little bit about the breeds that are represented and the quality breeders and programs that are behind those cattle.
Right. So if you look there on the first page of our catalog, myself would be mainly Charolais and Charolais composite cattle. Brandon Fix, a friend of mine and also a neighbor. He's a Connors State alum, judged livestock there for Brandon Gunn, and then got his degree from Oklahoma State. Would be kind of on the percent semi side. And then we've got Terry Lockhart and Wasey McDuffie down by Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. They kind of specialize in maintainers, keys, semis, clubby kind of deals. And so they've added a maintainer and two mains and percent semi heifer there. Parker Cantrell's a young Hereford breeder from Skytook area. He's actually got a Charolais heifer in here as well as some embryo lots. And then he's also kind of been managing the Red Angus for Zeb King, who's also an Adair guy. So I actually saw those heifers at Parker's last night. Actually, they look really nice. Laura Harris is a limousine breeder from the Wagner area. Wagner, Oklahoma there. Braden Hendricks from Anadarko area, southwest Oklahoma. He's got 3 really nice lots. Him and Casey Helmus has been kind of teamed up together this year on those lots. Eric Walker and Cody Green, they need no introduction, from Prairie Grove, Arkansas. They've got 2 maintainers. One of them is actually a dual registered key heifer. Will Lane's got a Shorthorn Plus. He's from Grove. Another limousine breeder being Drew Wright. His dad's the ag teacher at Afton, Joe Bob Wright. And then I already mentioned Zeb King with the Red Angus. So then we're also really fortunate to have the Glover family from Texas throwing in some Charolais embryo lots, as well as Josh Winslow from the Pennsylvania area on some really high quality embryo lots. So we'll talk about one of those here in a few minutes. So we're really excited. It's definitely a great opportunity, I think. I'm very blessed to be teamed up with some really high caliber individuals and try to do the best we can to market these cattle.
Right. And there's without a doubt, tell me, consignor side of it in the service after the sale. Is it just visit with those guys moving forward? These new people buy new cattle, multiple people work together. I mean, how do you?
Right. I believe that would be like an individual buyer to consignor type relationship. I feel like, I trust all these guys that I'm involved with, and I think they're high caliber individuals. Like I said a minute ago, I always tell them before we start adding cattle that I'm really big on HIT, which is honesty, integrity, and transparency.
There you
And
go.
so I feel like those guys have made a name for themselves in this industry. And I feel like the customers that purchase cattle through this sale can definitely reach out to those individuals that raise the animal and probably have a little more of a connection than what I do with that individual animal, unless they're one of mine, obviously.
Absolutely. And you said, Ethan, those cattle are, until the sale day, they're going to be at the breeders at their places, and then they'll be gathered up there. What did you say on Friday?
Right. Friday. Yeah. Hopefully, the plan would be 10, 11 o'clock that morning, have everything washed and under the tent ready to be viewed. Somewhere around that time frame, give everybody a chance to get in there that morning and get cattle washed and blown out and whatnot. But, they've all committed to be there. And so nobody's told me that they're not going to be there.
You bet. That'll be a cool deal. Put them under the big top and get them gathered up at that show. And that ought to be a heck of a place to look at them. Well, we're going to, dive into these cattle. And we're going to start off with one by our picture that sure is going to be a sale standout. The lot 1 female, the new game daughter. Tell us a little bit about the background of this female and what her offspring or what her past siblings have done.
Mm-hmm. So that heifer actually comes to us from the Courtney family, Brian and Brock Courtney. I forgot to mention them at the beginning. I apologize, but definitely a high quality Angus female. They brought them over, that one in their Hereford, and pictured the same day that we pictured our white ones. And that heifer definitely caught my eye. She's very good, very feminine, very sound, really good bodied. I feel like that heifer is very similar in type and kind to that Primo. That would be a maternal sister to her that was 3rd overall at the 2020 Angus Junior Nationals there in Tulsa. That would have been Division 8 winner that day. So this new game heifer, I think, has a really bright future. The Courtney family they live down there in the Inola area. Do a really nice job working with juniors and always exhibit really high quality cattle. And that Angus heifer there is no exception.
Yeah, there's no doubt. When you talk about Brian Courtney and Brock, those guys they've made a staple of standing at the backdrop over the years. They know what it takes, and they know that kind. So, hey, tell us real quick about the Lot 4 female, one that carries your prefix, a Charlet, a carbon copy out of an Encore.
Yes, sir. So that September heifer there. So her mother, I actually was one of the first Charlet cows that I bought. She's pictured there. So she came out of the Texas limited edition sale there in the fall of 15. And I'm pretty sure that was the first one I bought. There was one I bought at Kansas City that year too that would have been about the same time frame. And so my college roommate, Clinton Brightwell, was kind of working for Travis Pembroke at the time a little bit, and he spoke really highly of that heifer. So we ended up buying her, and she's, what would she be, 7 this fall now, being a 2015 model. And so this carbon copy heifer here, I think, is one of the better ones that she's ever had. I think Carbon Copy has done a lot of really good things for our program. We actually just bought a bull recently that's sired by Carbon Copy. So that heifer there, I think, front end on that female is really nice for a Charlet. Really feminine headed neck, ties that neck in really high under her shoulder. And still yet, as we progress, she was a little greener in her condition when she came in. But I think that heifer's starting to belly down and has a real nice level hip on her, a real good disposition. That heifer took a phenomenal picture too, I think. So I like that one pretty good.
And how did you say, how's her mother bred again, Ethan?
An Encore out of a Polled Value. So she's kind of silver spur bred. She has a silver spur brand on her rib cage.
Yep. Well, and it's no secret what Carbon Copy the last last year has done in the Charolais breed. Boy, really kind of a neat bred one. She'd be firewater free then.
Yes, firewater free. No outsider. I guess carbon copies out outsiders.
Yeah,
So
out outside
you want to take
yeah.
that. But
Kind of a genetically, you could sure do a lot of different things with that one right there.
yeah, I feel like that's one thing we try to focus on in our own program is trying to utilize some genetics that aren't necessarily as mainstream. You won't see a lot of firewater or a lot of outsider in our herd now. There's exceptions to that with some of our JoJo bred cows, but I feel like the core base of our cow herd kind of focuses on some other genetics within the Charolais breed.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, this next one, we're gonna talk about a full fib heifer pregnancy to the pumpkin spice heifer shown by the Birchie family there.
Yes, sir. So that's a pretty neat story on that one. So that heifer right there was sold in the 21 Classic there last December, and myself and the Birchie family partnered on that heifer. And Braden Hendricks actually raised the heifer, and he's the one that's consigning this pregnancy lot to this sale. So we took that heifer to Denver, and she ended up winning that calf division in the open show that day. They went on to show her at Rapid City. She won the Charolais show and was third overall. And then she was third overall in Champion Charolais that day under the Bloombergs there at Loveland, Colorado. So that one's really neat pedigree, in my opinion, as well. She's a redemption. So there's a little bit of firewater if you go far enough back there on the top side. But her mother, I'll pull it up here, is a ballistic Who's My Daddy, which to me, I don't know a lot about that bottom side of that pedigree, but that heifer right there, that pumpkin spice, she's in the top 7% of the breed for marbling, which I think is really intriguing as well. So Braden and Lindsay and family have put in this heifer pregnancy. So this pregnancy is due in September. And so it's a full heifer sib pregnancy to that heifer right there. Pretty exciting, I think.
Yeah, and you guys buy her at the Classic, and she's done nothing but be successful just right out of the gate.
Yeah, we think pretty highly of that one. She's donor pin candidate for sure.
Right, and just lots of options when it comes time to breed that one or flush that one or whatever you want to do.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no outsider in that one's pedigree anywhere, and there's just a little bit of firewater if you go far enough back on the redemption side.
Right.
Just a splash.
Little bit of firewater never hurt anybody, did it, Corey?
No, not at all. That will change that that breed. It's just few of them guys can get a shot or two of them in there, and these females that are firewater free are kind of and outsider free. When you can come back on derivatives of outsider and firewater, it just makes mating them so much easier.
Right, you bet. Ethan, tell us about this lot 17, one from the Lockhart family, a maintainer heifer, July on top of that, Game On daughter out of a commercial Irish whiskey female.
Yes, sir. So Terry and Wasey definitely put us together 3 really nice heifers for the sale, and this heifer I think is definitely at the top of that list. So that one's mother is a commercial Irish whiskey cow. And Terry told me that 29D cow, the mother of that one, has raised 2 division winners at junior nationals. And that heifer there is really stout, hairy, kind of a neat age, I would think, for that division. Really sound, muscular, good bodied. And you can see the head and neck in that picture. Just a real high caliber female there, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
When Terry and Wasey put something together, it's usually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, Lockhart, he grabbed me there. I was down there in Stillwater last weekend for Griswold's bull sale, and Lockhart grabbed me, and we hopped on in the pickup and drove out there in the donor pasture, and we looked at some of them Game Ons. Boy, them things are good. I mean, they're just like this one, huge bodied, really feminine. They look spectacular.
And that bull was no slouch himself, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Brett knew it ever since he was a day old, I'm sure.
that's what the footnote said anyway. And so I'm gonna go with it. He's caught a little bit of fire. Let's see
Oh boy.
how big the brush pile was. So, but no, nice female there. So
And what age is she, Ethan?
She's middle of July, 18th of July.
18th
She's
of July.
so she'd be 50% main.
50% maintainer. She'll show as a maintainer. You bet.
Mhm.
Out of an unregistered Irish whiskey cow.
Right.
Yep.
That's proven.
Yep. You bet. Yeah. That had what did you say earlier? Had one
Raised two division winners at junior nationals.
Junior nationals. Yep. Exactly. Hey, then we're gonna break into the Winslow cow. Whoa. Look at the picture of that thing right there. Embryos out of this great donor. Tell us a little bit about her.
Right. So that's kind of a funny story. So the Glover family that's got the Charlet embryos in the cell, they'd sent me a link on a cell on SC, and I was just scrolling through, and I noticed this backdrop picture from when I judged the Ohio State AGR. And it was a limousine heifer that I'd used in the top 5 that day. So I just called the number, and it was this Winslow guy. And we just got to visit in about that heifer and what she went on to do. And so we started talking about her sale, and he said, well, I'd love to put some embryos in. And he definitely, the 3 lots or the 6 lots, I guess, because they're A and B lots that he put in are awfully nice. And I asked his opinion, which one he would want me to highlight tonight. And this was the one that he told me. So this Foxy cow is a style out of Cherokee Still Lady. And she did a lot of winning in her show career. First calf crop, they sold a Garth daughter out of her, which is the heifer there pictured in the bottom right, for $12,500. And so these embryos here, the A lot is IVF unsexed who demands, and the B lot is sexed IVF female Sams. So those two really nice A and B lots right there, I would say.
oh gosh, just the semen alone on Who Man and Sam.
Oh boy.
These things have got some territory together up here. So
what is Sam Seaman priced at now, by the way?
Well, they sold, I don't know, maybe 30 units of it at John's sale Saturday. And, I think it bring 600 to 700 right around there.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. And that stuff's only going to get higher. The way they wanted, I bet you those bulls had to average in the teens, in the big teens, I'm sure, on a bunch of them Sam bulls. It was they were in demand for sure.
Wow.
Yep.
That's good. Hey, the next lot we're going to talk about here is the 23. It's the fix female, the percentage semi heifer here.
Right. So that's a December Assassin out of an SAV May cow family deal. So she's a Sim Angus 50% semi cow, or that female there is. And so the Assassin bull is actually the sire of that Baldy heifer there you see that the Cunningham family show. That heifer would have won her division at Tulsa last fall and stood second in her class in a tough division at OYE a month ago. And so they pictured this heifer as well the same day when we did our white ones. And really, really good made female there. Just being just a December green baby, super feminine, flat shouldered, sound structured. And that one's got all the pieces. Just needs to get to the right home and fed right, and that one will do nothing but do good things, I would think.
Right.
Yeah, she's young. She's got to be the youngest one in the sale, doesn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, fill me in real quick. What is Assassin? Give me the skinny on Assassin.
Yeah, he's a lock and load, I believe.
Okay.
I should have wrote that down.
No, that's quite all right.
Fix is blowing my phone up right now, probably because I don't know what that bull is.
Well, shoot, I hate to ask, but that just seems like an awfully high quality heifer. With her being a 50% deal.
Right. And then lot 24 would also be a paternal sib to that Baldy. That one's also an assassin.
Okay. Yeah, Corey, we need to be finding out what assassin is. Those seem like to be pretty nice cattle. So
Yeah.
But
Boy, they do.
Mm-hmm.
That one there, with the genetics behind her and the way that full sister looks, she just needs a little bit of little TLC and time, and
Right.
She will mature very nicely.
Right. So, Ethan, this sale, all the consigners are going to gather these things up there at Stillwater on Friday. That's the 15th day of the month at the show. Everybody's going to come rolling up in there, get them all under the tent that evening. Colonel Ron Cunningham's going to be selling the sale for you through his CCI.Live.
Yep, it'll be a live stream
Okay.
Of the event there from the block kind of deal. We'll set up a big screen TV there in front of the block and run pictures and videos. And Cody Beck will be there to assist as well. So it should be a good event. I feel like we've put together some quality females and got some really good consigners involved, and look forward to getting these heifers into some homes that good families that want to work at it and try to be successful.
Right, and that's at the Payne County Expo Center. That's just east of Stillwater, right?
Yes, sir. And we'll be set up kind of in the northwest corner of that facility.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, I'm sure those kids that are there showing are going to be bidding actively. But say somebody from Ohio, Florida, South Dakota gets something. What do you got lined up trucking wise, Ethan?
Right. So anything going South Dakota direction, I would sure give Brandon Birchie a call. He's been doing a lot of livestock hauling. We talked about Nick Goins before we started tonight. I think that would be another good contact for stuff going northeast or east. So, we're definitely willing to work with anybody on getting these females where they need to be. And I feel like with the group of breeders and consigners involved, surely we know somebody somewhere with a truck and trailer, I would think, that could get them home and get them where they need to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good deal. Ethan, leading up to this sale, we visited earlier, the cattle are at each consigner's place. If there's any questions sale day, that need to be directed to you.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Good deal. Well, hey, it's been right. Yeah, you can at least get somebody veered off and send them in the right way. So, but
yes, sir.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's been a pleasure to walk through these things with you and visit with you. I know for you, there's been a lot of anticipation leading up to this sale. This being your third one, good luck. And we want to tell you thanks for choosing to use Drive Marketing.
Well, I appreciate you guys having us. And if there's any questions about the catalog or how the sale is going to go or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or one of the consigners involved.
Yeah. Again, that is through CCI.Live. You log in. It's going to be a live sale. So you got to log in and bid through CCI.Live that night. So, yeah, no, that'll be great. We appreciate your time, Ethan, and choosing to use Drive Marketing, and good luck and sell the hell out of them, bud.
Well, they're our best.
That'd be good. See you next weekend.
Yes, sir.